Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about ghosts. I have grown up in a ghost-filled family. I definitely am a little bit psychic. I grew up with an aunt who's super psychic, and my mom in high school used to live in a haunted house in California. You guys, she has crazy stories. But my stories are not about my mom today. My story's about me and all of my ghost encounters in life, because I'm telling you, there's a lot. Okay, so the first ghost, I sound so crazy. The first ghost I ever saw was in our first house. I was really little. I was in my bunk bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a little man standing in the doorway. He looked like Quasimodo. I swear I wasn't imagining. And I was so scared, and I ran like through him into my parents' room, and I couldn't breathe and I was so scared, and I said, like, Mom, there's a little man in my room. You know, my mom grew up in a haunted house, so she gets it. So that was like the first one I ever saw. Nothing else really happened. I mean, I was so scared. Y'all, this is bad. I like slept on my parents' bedroom floor until like, I mean, borderline high school some nights, because I would just get so scared. Like I'd start feeling things and like start hearing things and just be like so scared. So, oh God, and now my dog's walking in the room and opening the door. It's just a dog. Senses things. Okay, so we were at a family reunion when I was, I don't know, maybe 7th grade or something, and we were in Minnesota. Our family reunion was at this like small college, and we were staying in these dormitories, but they were just like 3 or 4 story tiny little buildings. It was a really small college. We were staying with my super psychic aunt. We went home, we were all in bed, and all of a sudden, so there was a kitchen at the bottom of this dorm, and we hear this like, I mean, shattering of glasses, like breaking of plates, like silverware drawers shaking in and out. I mean, it sounded like someone was in the kitchen with a baseball bat just breaking everything. My mom and one of my brothers stayed upstairs, and one of my brothers and I started walking downstairs, and my aunt comes out and she's like, let's go see what's going on. What's going on down there? And I mean, all of our hearts are like, like freaking out, right? Because we think like there's somebody downstairs. Like we didn't think ghost, we thought like there's somebody downstairs. So we walk downstairs and we turn the corner to look into the kitchen, and we're still hearing all of these things shattering of everything happening. And the kitchen is just still. It's just perfectly still. Like you're hearing all the sounds, but nothing was moving. Like no drawers, no nothing. Everything was in pristine condition. It was the I mean, oh, I still get like hairs on the back of my neck standing up. It was so crazy. So we all like obviously are freaking out. So we all like run upstairs, and then the sound stops. So you think we slept that night? No, we did not. It was the craziest thing. And then my cousins in the other dorm that exact same night heard like an old-timey phone ringing and a party going on. Like an old, like 20s style party going on, but like nobody there on their floor but them. So nothing happened the rest of the time we were there, but it was like so crazy, and we still all talk about it because it was like really the craziest thing ever. So in high school, the next big thing happened to me. 2 things happened to me like in the same time span. So both my brothers had moved out to go to college, and I was home by like sleeping on our side of the house by myself. And in the middle of the night, I woke up to like a rustling sound in my closet. It was like a bag, like a Target bag or something, that was just like rustling. I was like, oh my God, what is that? I was thinking like, you know, like, is there a mouse? Is there a bug that's like, you know, you always like logically start thinking things. Like you never think ghosts. Like first thing you need to think is not like ghosts. I'm like, I get up, I walk over there, I find the bag. I'm like, kind of try to situate it again. Lay back down in bed. Sound happens again. That's so weird. There was nothing in the bag. Like how is that rustling still happening? So I walk over. I had a Jack and Jill bathroom with my brother, who was not there. But I walk in and I throw the bag into the trash can in the bathroom and then go lay back down in bed. Sound happens again. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is so annoying. Like, cause I was so tired and it was like the middle of the night and it had woken me up. So I go into the bathroom and I yelled at the bag. So I'm like, oh my God, like what? What are you doing? Shut up. I yell. Right when I yell, something banged on the wall, like the wall that was connected to my brother's room, but right next to my head, 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. So hard. I mean, like right after I yelled, it like yelled back. It was so freaking scary. I still think about it, I'm so scared. Again, I ran into my parents' room. Like I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even talk. So my mom's like, what's going on? And I said, something just banged on the wall next to my head. And she's like, what? So she's like, let me just take you back in your room. And she walked in my room, she was like, and like I said, like I come from a psychic family. My mom's like, you are not staying in this room. And so I went and I think I slept on the couch or something, but it was so scary, you guys. Like, I'll never forget that. And then the next thing that happened was a few weeks later. I was in my grandparents' house and I was laying on the couch. I didn't feel good. Like, we had a bunch of family members, but everyone went to church. Like, everybody went to church. I was like, I don't feel good. I'm just gonna stay here and sleep on the couch. So they're like, okay, well, we'll see you when we get back. So I'm laying there on the couch and like, I was almost asleep. I was really close to being asleep. And I hear like keys jingling on the kitchen table, which is not far away from me. I mean, we were in an apartment, so the kitchen was connected to the room where the couch was. The dining room table is right there. And so I'm like, did somebody like forget to grab their keys? Like, that's so weird. And so I'm like laying there and the sound stops and it does it again. And I'm like, what? And so I sit up to look over at the sound and this ghost ran past me so fast. I couldn't see it, but the wind from it, y'all, I felt wind on my body. Like, I felt the gush of air run past me. Again, I was so scared. And I just sat there because I just froze. Like, I just froze. I didn't hear anything else. But I almost felt in that moment like something came back and like looked around at me and then realized I wasn't what it was looking for, and then it left. It was so weird. And then the only other time I've ever seen something was I was on a golf course one time with my boyfriend in the middle of the night, and we were walking around. We were with another couple, and I was like, oh my God, look, there's like somebody walking over on the other side of the golf course. And he was like, what are you talking about? And it looked just like a white thing. And I'm like, well, it's right there. I was like, look, it's moving. It's right there. I know I sound crazy again. Nobody could see it but me. But like, it was there. Like 100%, it was far away, but it was a being moving across the golf course. It was so weird. So those are my big ghost stories. I'm sure I'll have some when I think about it that I'll be like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that one. But those are the ones that like when I think back on, like when people are like, oh my gosh, do you know ghosts? Like, yes. Yes, I do. And I'm talking about this during the day, I mean in a dark setting, because I literally can't talk about this at night because I'll get like way too freaked out. Even though I used to like love watching the show Ghost Hunters and like consider being a ghost hunter, I don't think I could ever actually do it. Also, my parents have a store called Sweet Charlotte in Charlotte, Tennessee. And they have right next to their shop a 200-year-old cabin that has old-timey photos. You take old-timey photos in there and 100% there's a ghost in there. Because my mom heard her talking, and then one day the lady who runs the photo stand came in and there were 3 hats perfectly laid out in front of her and no one had been in the cabin but her. And one day she was in there and she heard a box completely move across the floor. So if you're looking to ghost hunt, you should go to my parents' Sweet Charlotte cabin and take pictures, see if there's any ghosts in there, because I think that there is. You guys, can you please also comment below with your ghost stories, because I love ghost stories. I mean, they totally freak me out and I can only do it during the day, but I love ghost stories. I just don't want them to happen to me anymore. Like, I'm done with ghosts. And I have a terrible feeling that like one day when I move out of this house, like what if the new house I have is haunted? Because you don't know until you know. you know. All right, well, if you guys like this video, please actually like this video. Again, comment below with your ghost stories, because I want to hear all of them because they make me spooked out. Okay, well, love you guys. Until next time, bye.